It's been an unprecedented time, and we've never had any crisis like this to deal with across the client base before. The biggest thing has been how universal the issue has been. So instead of our service responding to an event or a difficulty that any given client might have, suddenly over the course of a month or 3 months, all the clients, each and every client, faced the crisis and had to deal with what to do with their employees. We had to stay ahead of the game in understanding what the rules and the regulations and the advice was from government and from the various public health bodies and so on, trying to collate all the different strands of information that were flying around. As everybody knows, there was lots of conflicting advice, and you have to find your way through to what is the correct or the best solution. And often that would change. So a few days after you've given one set of advice, you had to change. And so it was very, very strange times. I would say that the biggest challenge for us was the sheer volume of inquiries from clients. Many employers already offered flexible working arrangements, but when it became obligatory to stay away from work, to stay away from the office or stay away from the factory, unless it was absolutely necessary, that allowed many clients to be innovative, to embrace the change as best they could, and I think employees who have found that good will want to hang on to that sort of flexibility, at least to some extent. I think already we're beginning to see a reaction where employees who have either got home circumstances where it's difficult to work, or it's not as good as the office environment, or they're feeling they're missing out on the interaction with colleagues or whatever is going on, after several months of being stuck at home, perhaps it's just because they've been told to stay at home, they no longer want to stay at home. I think there will be a shift back to the working environment, whatever it is. I think the one thing that we as a business have thought about very hard is whether the services we are providing are suitable or required to be modified in any way to reflect the changed circumstances, the effect, the impact of COVID. And for instance, health and safety consultancy was rather often physically provided by visits or by tours of buildings or premises, and they have been able to, in conjunction with clients, do quite a lot of that digitally, with camera work or with emails or communication of one sort or another. I think that the drive towards software solutions that support that sort of technological provision of service will therefore grow. So we will be investing even more heavily in IT and software as the days and months go by here. And I do think that we're all in it together mentality that our Law at Work team have adopted has been appreciated by clients. The fact that the contracts typically are retainer contracts, so we weren't also having to fight with the clients about fees, was a very great demonstration of the value of our core business model. And I think that stress was not a problem. But I think the effort put in by the Law at Work team over and above the normal demands of the business has been heroic.